Oh, greetings. I'm Stu King, and here I am in my natural environment, my natural attire, and I wanted to share with you some of my experiences of how I began in community-based NRM. We're going back 17 years here. I was a university student and working as a research associate for the International Centre for Research in Agroforestry. We'll call them ICRAF from here on in. In the Philippines, in the buffer zones, Philippines had about 5% forest cover left at that time. But that's not the story. The story is a gentleman named Sam Coffer. He's a Liberian man. I was at a workshop on participatory research and development methods for upland watersheds. They like their big names. Sam Coffer turned to me and he said, "Young man, what is it you are doing here?" I can't do the Liberian accent very well. And I said, "I don't know." And he said, "Good." And I think that was the right answer, and he proceeded to take me under his wing for the next few months and show me pretty much everything he knew about environmental non-government work in developing countries and in fairly complex areas, the uplands. They're multi-stakeholders and support a great deal of people's livelihoods who are at a subsistence level. But the key thing I got out of all of that was really amazingly to do with monitoring and evaluation, and it's the thing I've taken away from that and I hold with me today. What I learnt there and what I've found over and over again in projects is that you can have projects with outputs, and you can have projects that are achieving all of those outputs and which on paper look to be an incredible success, but in reality have absolutely no hope of achieving the outcome that is required for the environment or the people for whom that project is serving. It's nobody's fault generally, it's just in the design, and often also in people's enthusiasms. The project staff on those Philippines, they were land care projects. They were young graduates, they were enthusiastic, and even if they saw a technology being implemented or adopted, if it wasn't effective in what it should have been doing, they weren't reporting that because they were too concerned that if they said, "Hey, this stuff is not working," then they might lose their project funding and their jobs, which is unfortunate. Anyway, so one of the things I ended up doing in the Philippines and that trip was working on a curriculum for young land care volunteers, mostly agronomy graduates, in what land care was all about, and made a lot of friends, learnt a lot, and really enjoyed myself. I think everybody was happy with what I did at the end of the day. I got invited back to do pretty much the same thing in Indonesia, which, although on paper, just as a by the way, and I'm wrapping up, looked very, very similar, but in the field was very, very different, and the recommendations for how a farmer-led, community-based NRM model might work in Indonesia were very different for how they might work in the Philippines. Anyway, on this page here, hopefully you'll find a link to my resume, which will tell you more about the work I've done in various parts of the world. Nice to meet you.